The 1950s. The world was finally at peace. There was optimism in the air and an urge to rebuild economies and lives. In 1951, an idea was born, an idea that would build a new industry. Aviation pioneer William J. Millay and Lauren Thurston, publisher of the Honolulu Advertiser, met at the Moana Hotel in Honolulu with a vision that travel to the Pacific had huge economic potential, but some structures needed to realize it. It took less than 1 year to make that happen. The age of the Pacific is with us. On January 12, 1952, California Governor, later Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, Earl Ward, delivered the opening speech of the first Pacific Area Travel Conference.
And there was an air of excitement mostly about it, and we were getting into something that no one would have thought of before. We were creating a new industry.
Within 4 days, PETA, the Pacific Interim Travel Association, was formed. It had a constitution, a mission, and a membership of 41.
The greatest achievement was in having governments of the Pacific recognize the industry for what it was. A great economic contributor also to peaceful existence of nations together.
In 1953, PETA became PATA, the Pacific Area Travel Association, and established headquarters in San Francisco. At its second conference, Lawrence W. Lake, a young manager from the U.S. magazine called Sunset, sounded a warning.
We were very much aware of being concerned about how tourism would affect the countries that PATA was expanding into.
It was a vision of the future. PATA was to take the position that quality was as important as quantity. One day, this was the lead as both promoter and protector. The popular culture of the 50s put dreams of the plush and the exotic, the Pacific and Asia in hearts and minds. Author James Michener wrote of an endless ocean and the infinite specks of coral we call islands. Many years later, Michener attributed much of the success of Pacific travel to PATA. But the region wasn't getting the attention it deserved, said PATA executive Marvin Blake. Trade magazines wouldn't even write about Hawaii. So PATA, out of necessity, created its own publication, Pacific Travel News, which lives today as PATA Compass. PATA's first consumer advertising brought more than 11,000 inquiries and proved that the Pacific Asia area could be marketed as a region. As business grew, so did PATA, and so did the variety of members, proof that the tourism industry went far beyond destinations, transportation, and hospitality. And not only internationally, but locally as well. In 1960, PATA launched its chapter network, beginning in New Zealand and Hong Kong, and growing to, at its peak, 75 local organizations around the world, serving as the industry's largest marketing network, sometimes working as a bridge between local industry and government.
And it actually is a very vibrant tool where we can actually take some of our concerns to the government.
The magnificent blue jet, with a wingspread that's bigger than the entire distance of the Wright brothers' first.
The dawn of the jet, and the beginning of a decade that would mean dramatic changes in culture and travel. Arrivals to PATA countries had increased tenfold in the 1950s. But how big would it get? PATA commissioned a study that would open the eyes of governments to the potential of tourism in their countries. The Checky Report, as it was called, was groundbreaking research, looking at issues that had never been looked at before.
Had a great impact on the whole industry.
PATA was a key source of information, long before information age became a buzzword, and even more so today.
I'm particularly very impressed with the research materials that PATA has been publishing all these years, which I'm loyally following.
Before PATA, there was little recognition of travel and tourism as a field of study.
We consider PATA to be the godfather of the School of Travel Industry Management. This school was something new. It looked at tourism as a total entity that was composed of many parts. We have changed our curriculum every other year as we recognize the dynamics of the travel industry.
The 70s, the beginning of the era of the jumbo jet. More people traveling, more success for the Pacific Asia travel industry. But was this large-scale development sustainable? In 1973, delegates at the annual conference in Japan moved PADA from supporter of sustainable tourism to advocate, maintaining that quality development paid back good dividends. And PADA would put that concept to the test. Chiang Mai, Thailand had all the elements of a tourist destination. It was a cultural center. It was a gateway to nature, but with no airport, very hard to reach.
If a particular country wanted a certain element to be developed in their country, they come to PADA and say, can you provide some people to tell us what to do?
The concept of the PADA task force was born. PADA sent volunteers who made recommendations on such subjects as zoning and land use, architectural and design controls, open space, cultural preservation, and the economics of building an airport. The Thai government developed Chiang Mai based largely on PADA's blueprint.
Fantastic success. But you know, look at Chiang Mai now.
Chiang Mai's success story set the stage for other successes.
Towards the end of 70s, beginning of 80s, when PATA recommended to develop the city as a city of culture, but also through the development of the new infrastructures, we could transform a city of heritage recognized by UNESCO with the state-of-the-art infrastructures of entertainment, but also state-of-the-art facilities for meetings, exhibitions, and conventions.
The travel market was founded in 1978 to bring PATA members closer to the marketplace. The purpose of it was like conducting a sales conference, working with people that have a mutual interest. The PATA travel market has provided billions of dollars in negotiated contracts between the buyers and sellers of the Asia Pacific.
By the mid-80s, there was as much travel within the region as to and from. PATA began to focus on that, and mid-decade recommissioned itself the Pacific Asia Travel Association. And in 1990, PATA adopted Direction 2000, redefining itself as the leader of and authority on Pacific Asia travel and tourism. PATA members vowed to take the lead on strategic issues, among them the environment.
We have to change the way that we live. We in WWF welcome the opportunity to work together with you, the travel industry, tourist industry.
Bali, Indonesia, 1991. PATA devoted its annual conference to tourism and the environment, introducing its Code for Environmentally Responsible Tourism, which served as a benchmark for the industry worldwide.
I think this conference, I'm confident, has given PATA a fantastic opportunity to again take action and get into the act and do something about a problem that indeed not only faces PATA, but every industry and indeed the whole world.